How's it going, everybody? Now, this video just kind of popped into my recommendation. I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I've reacted to some degenerate content, so why not? I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube. That's deeper than you think. Let's hear what he has to say.
Culture, have you seen this anime?
やっぱいいわ。
Well,
No comment.
guess what? It has a safe for work manga. This mega
way.
hit 18+ piece of media was made by the Mappa of H anime that garnered the attention of the godfathers of culture themselves.
I'm a big follower.
I'm somewhat of a fan myself.
Wait, really?
Somewhat of a fan. Episode 4 is a masterpiece. Is on par with masterpiece.
Now, the manga tells stories that go beyond the bedroom, offering a wholesome dive into themes like gender identity, self-reflection, and even exceeds aspects of Shakespearean media. But it's time to take a closer look at one of the most intriguing manga of our generation. Our main character, Imazumin, is initially bullied by 3 girls, until they all end up falling
Bullied by 3 girls. He was really getting bullied, guys.
and eventually they all start living together in Imazumin's apartment, where he lives alone. This is where the manga immediately begins to stand out. While many fictional works tend to gloss over why characters live on their own, this one takes a different approach. Remember, we're discussing a manga in the same realm as Berserk, Vagabond, and even Rent-a-Girlfriend. There's a deep
Wait,
and
what?
tragic
How is Berserk in the same... Wait, I'm missing something. Wait. No, I'm missing something.
They all start living together in Imazumin's apartment, where he lives alone.
How is
this
Berserk
is where the manga immediately begins to stand out. While many fictional works tend to gloss over why characters live on their own, this one takes a different approach. Remember, we're discussing a manga in the same realm as Berserk, Vagabond, and even
What does that mean?
Rent-a-Girlfriend. There's a deep and tragic reason.
Oh! Is he saying the story is as complex as Berserk? Is that what he's saying? It's like goes that deep?
Reason why Imazumin lives by himself. But first, let's meet the girls who become the center of the story. The first character to introduce is Yukino.
Damn. That was loud for no reason. I'm going back though.
Tragic reason why Imazumin lives by himself. But first, let's meet the girls who become the center of the story. The first character to introduce is Yukino.
Why is Think of It playing?
She may seem shy, and she struggles to express her feelings, but as the story progresses, she faces emotional challenges that add layers to her character. Her journey reminded me of Kenpachi from Bleach, and initially, this comparison seemed satirical. But the more I thought about it, the more I became convinced that Yukina and Kenpachi are one and the same.
They might be the same person.
2 peas in a pod, but we'll dive more into it further down the trail, because next up we have one of the most complicated characters I've ever had to analyze. So much conflict in their life that even listening to Think of It wouldn't save her. And this is none other than
Stop playing Think of It, bro. Why do they all have like a fucking intro theme song?
Who is the daughter of an extremely rich businessman, and at face value, she seems to be a show-off rich girl that has it easy in life, but she reveals herself to be someone that cares about her friends more than anyone, even at her own expense. And throughout the duration of the manga, I started to feel that she was more like Eren Yeager than even the final season version of Eren Yeager himself. With Eren and Ruri singing this beautiful song of self-sacrifice, dancing around complicated issues and complicated tropes, Ruri ends up standing apart from most characters in fiction as someone that redefines a lot of slice-of-life tropes, but we're gonna solve that puzzle a little later on. Because next up we have the textbook.
I'm gonna go out and just take a guess here. I think this guy likes VTubers.
Giga guaranteed definition
that might be a crazy
of tsundere in Reina.
Yes.
Who at first appears as the typical intense.
Which one's your favorite, chat?
The outside,
I think I'm gonna go with that one.
On the inside type, but seeing some of the decisions she makes throughout the series, it's clear that she has had an intense life and has suffered some of the most severe consequences I've seen in any slice of life. And unironically, it was a masterclass in using body language and dialogue as an avenue of characterization. And she really reminded me of Frieren, 2 people who don't know how to value and allocate their time.
I do wonder though if he's like actually being serious and it actually is like a good manga, or if he's just exaggerating.
People who don't understand who they are and without guidance are just 2 leaves blowing in the wind wherever the waves of life takes them, and will soar through that journey of pain and turmoil and acceptance later. Because next up we have the biggest comeback story of the year in Imazumin, who at the beginning of the story is just like that bum Deku, that sorry ass Deku. You know how Deku's too scared to do anything? Like, Deku gives off the energy as someone too scared to order his own food. But unlike Deku, Imazumin grows and develops into someone strong. Someone like Orphan, someone that is trying to understand who he is and through trials and tribulations.
Izumi's a better protagonist than Deku. Confirmed. You heard it here.
In order to understand who they are and what they want. And the manga is fully centered around the idea of Imazumin becoming a man, and his process of growing makes his relationships grow, casting this vast
Wait, he say the manga and anime.
In order to understand who they are and what they want. And the manga is fully centered around the idea of Imazumin becoming a man, and his process of growing makes his relationships grow, casting this vast spider web of pain, love, suffering, reflection, and eventually peace. Within a world that feels as expansive as One Piece and Hunter x Hunter, something where every corner there's a new battle leading to
he's getting him a piece, alright.
When the door closes, it feels like hundreds upon thousands open up. One of the big issues this anime tackles is the struggles of polygamy. If you don't know what polygamy is, it's every D-Gen loner bum's dream. You know, the primary fantasy of people with no girlfriend and no friends.
Explain.
I have no girlfriend. I have a couple friends though. Please leave a like.
I have a couple
friends, I think anyone with common sense knows that.
I will. I'll leave a like for you. ItzKish.
Pulling off polygamy being a positive is extremely challenging, but
how do you spell it? Oh. The practice of having more than one spout. Okay, got it.
That is literally the base that makes the story flow so well. It is done tastefully, and it's what highlights all the characters' growth. And this
maybe he explained it, and I was just stupid and like didn't missed it.
Such a bold decision by the author to play with a concept like
I'm a little slow.
It's like trying to build a Jenga tower on a sphere, and he built a tower that rivals the works of Shakespeare, Nolan, and Connor Dog voice actor. And the first block he pulls out of his own tower is Imazumin being a beta, because he's getting led and pulled in every single direction, and he doesn't know how to handle all that's going on. From the girl fighting to sit next to him, to the girl fighting to who can sleep next to him, to the girl fighting to who gets to go out with him. This anime depicts
he just got it so rough, man. Yeah, his life struggle is just so crazy. It's on a whole nother level. You really got to have a complex brain to, you know.
Brilliantly. And it reminded me a lot of how Frieren represented time allocation. You see, Frieren may have all the time in the world, but sometimes
I feel like I just yapped. I don't even know what the fuck I just said.
The people that have helped her in the past, and the ages of all the species of the people she's interacting with, she can't help but feel there's not enough time to give everyone the attention and fully connect with. And
I tried watching Frieren 3 different times. I just can't get into it. I don't know why, man. I just can't get into it.
Similarly for Imazumin, even though he lives with 3 other girls, there's never enough time to address everyone's issues, because unlike shit media, these are all real characters. And when you think of the dynamics of a relationship, think how many battles everyone has in relationships with just one person.
Damn, wait, that was a clean ass slap, bro. That shit.
Characters. And when you think of the dynamics of a relationship, think how many battles everyone has in relationships with just one person. Like, let's talk about the godfathers of anime and Giguk. Giguk's main challenge in life is that his wife likes to tags NTR and
Giguk? Is that how you say his name?
No,
crying.
I've never known how to like actually.
I know that's what you want.
Now imagine if, along with that challenge, Giguk was also married to the other 2, and have to worry about Joey thinking about Jujutsu Kaisen Bocchi the Rock being mid. Then on top of that, you'd have to deal with Sea-Dog spending all his money on Masterpiece merchandise. Then on top of all that, you have to deal with the fact that you yourself have watched almost every single isekai rom-com and harem that has come out in the past 20 years.
Hey. What's wrong with isekai, bro?
Now, doesn't that sound exhausting?
Okay, there's a lot wrong with
something that would make you feel like you're Atlas holding the world.
Hey, what's wrong with rom-com, bro? Ain't this a rom-com manga?
That will bring any person to their knees. That is a reality of Imazumin. I hope that wasn't weird. I hope that was a little hee-hee, ha-ha, slap on the wrist funny. He was talking about Giguk. With that being said, this idiot heard something.
Okay, that's like the 2nd or 3rd time you put Frieren's feet on the screen.
Special. He heard.
Just saying.
Like and subscribe. NTR will go away forever, as well as Queen Bee. Whatever Queen Bee is. I heard.
A manga you like gets animated. It's made by Queen Bee. What does that mean?
Sea-Dog talk about it. So let's dive into the challenges of every character.
I'm guessing that's an animation studio.
And what every character represents, starting with Reina, who at the beginning is shown to treat Imazumin like a beta and someone lesser, but it's revealed that she feels so close to Imazumin because although he is a beta, there was a time when these delinquents were making fun of.
Did he say abandon or a beta?
Every character that struggles with humanity and what every character represents, starting with Reina, who at the beginning is shown to treat Imazumin like a beta and someone lesser, but it's revealed that she feels so close to Imazumin because although he is a beta, there was a time when these delinquents were making fun of her and calling her insane names, and Imazumin stood up for her.
Hold on, I'm gonna read some of this text. I'm being
Imazumin because although he is a beta, there was a time when these delinquents were making.
Hey, Azumi, you also think that Hamasaki is a... right?
Making fun of her and calling her insane.
She's definitely a... ain't she? I know it. Wait, I know it, right? She's a magazine model. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. She's a magazine model. Magazine. Yeah, good English, Parker. But the way... wait, you read right to left in manga, right? But the way you talk about the girls behind their... oh, yeah. Is not okay. Don't think Hamasaki is that kind of person.
Didn't even know who Reina was, or that she was listening to the conversation, and this reminded me a lot.
I wonder what being a man... okay,
yeah. And how she treats her relationships to those who help her, and how there were times when she set aside what she was doing to help others, like when she cleaned Himo's statue, and
I can't believe I said fucking magazine.
The other instances throughout the series, because Reina and Frieren are lost.
I didn't go to
lost
college.
In love, lost in life, and lost themselves to the point where she doesn't even know.
Wait for it. He's gonna use feet scene.
Identity, and we will see times in the story where Reina goes on the brink of breaking and crashing out in a way that I'm sure many of you will understand. But before we jump to that, let's address Ruri's problems. Although she's wealthy and seemingly has everything, her actions clearly show that she longs for genuine attention and care.
Okay.
Typically, when media tries to make you sympathize with the rich,
everybody wants some genuine care in their life.
To feel detached or indifferent, like, yeah, okay, you're dealing with this, but you're still rich. However, Ruri's struggles are portrayed subtly, with depth, making the fact that she longs for a connection feel authentic and relatable. There are many times when Ruri seems to be the one that cares about maintaining their four-person relationship the most, but at the same time, she's constantly fighting for Imazuman's attention, trying to push him to become a better version of himself. I think when you see how she pushes Imazuman, it's pretty obvious that her childhood is what shaped her into being the group leader of the harem. She's direct with her feelings and isn't afraid to take action, whether it's pushing Imazuman forward or encouraging him, and this reminded me so much of Eren, and how he lives for his friends, even at his own detriment, as both of the two of them have scars of their youth, scars of trauma, and scars of fear. Both of them move mountains in order to save their friends, whilst they also live with the moral compass of a GTA player. Ruri may easily be the most complicated character in the
I was not expecting that.
Mainly due to how she allows the scars of her past to push her forward. But let's discuss Yukina now, and she has been revealed to have a brother who is known to cheat.
Should this be the first manga I read? I'm gonna buy it and read it on fucking stream. That'd be crazy.
And sleep around while berating her to be better.
Actually, no, that would be fucking awful. You guys would hate that shit. Me trying to read a book for an hour or something? Yeah, no,
this
fuck
leads to her feeling ashamed about herself and embarrassed about her own relationships. She questions everything she's doing and the intention behind it, as she slowly begins to fear how others will view her and if her actions are truly genuine. And she's the most shy person with Imazuman in public, and I'm sure you're literally jumping at the screen to make the connection of how her and Kenpachi are one and the same.
Bro, they're the same, trust, they're the same.
Changes upon accepting who he is when it comes to understanding
same
the type
morals,
of
same viewpoints.
Both the two characters are played with insecurity. They're
same
abilities.
About
who they are. They're insecure about their past and insecure about who they're going to be. Now, we've been through all three of their feelings of being lost and their deep scars along with paralyzing insecurity. So now that that's defined, I think it's time to discuss how the manga threads these needles, because it's constantly taking the time to weave in all four characters during big moments of the series to ensure the audience can see the growth of all of them, with everything working in conjunction with one another. And no better moment to start this off than when we found out Imazuman is basically dead broke. And Jesus Christ, man, this dude is really like Deku, sorry ass. He can't do nothing right. Like, dog, bro, you just scored the jackpot of jackpots and you're gonna throw it away because you want to waste money on what? Anyways, let's just get back to the situation at hand. Ruri ends up needing to bail him out. But remember, Imazuman already feels like a beta of all betas, and essentially getting sunned by one of your girlfriends, it's a pretty humbling experience, but it shows the character of Ruri more than anything, because she demands to pay for everything even though she doesn't need to in the situation.
Yeah, wait, why does he need money though? One of his 3 girlfriends is rich.
Escalates even further because Goofy over here got an apartment on O Block and basically gets evicted from his own place, furthering the money issues. So Ruri once again has to step in and move them all into one of her father's apartments. Now I know what you're thinking.
Wait, why did they move in with his apartment? Why couldn't they have just done that from the start?
Oh, she's just a rich snob flexing her money. But this is where body language and subtle dialogue can help you realize she's not doing this because she doesn't value money or trying to flex. She's doing this because she cares about her friends more than anything in the world, and it's not even a thought.
Wait, why would I immediately go to... Man, she's just trying to flex when she said when she just moved her boyfriend, I don't know, into her apartment after he got kicked out of his apartment.
That if she can help them, she will. And I feel this can be inferred through the fact that she is a rich snob who likely had no friends growing up and has all the pressure of having millionaire parents, and it makes it so her friends are more of a lifeline to her that gave her purpose and a reason to live. Because in her mind, Imazuman has already paid her 1,000,000 times more than money can ever make up for. And this really connected with me because of how similar it is to Eren's mentality. Eren was someone that literally tore the world apart for his friends, and despite being the all-powerful attack titan, he still made every action to help his friends, and even turned into a bird for them. I still don't get why they did that, but you have two characters that have all the right reasons to be angry at the world. With a business taking her father away and a titan eating his mother, they are one and the same, with their friends being the light at the end of the tunnel. And no moment for Ruri connected her more to Eren for me than when the rumbling of the slice of life universe happened. The worst thing of the worst. While the three of them were in the apartment, Imazuman's mother comes by for a surprise checkup, and while the other two panic and hide away, Ruri steps up and attacks the issue head on and directly addresses his mother, and even swings it in a way to help convince her that Imazuman is great how he is, and he should be accepted for who he is. Because changing yourself for other people when there are already people who love you is a feeling she knows all too well. Even throughout the rest of the series, she's always working to keep their relationship safe. Now, Ruri might be deep in the finances like the Wolf of Wall Street, but Reina is meant to connect deep inside the hearts of all of you angry anime fans, because she is far and away the most wholesome character in the series and sacrifices more than anyone.
I knew she was the best girl, bro. I knew it.
Reminds me of Frieren, but the main avenue for development is actually through subtlety. Now, if you recall, Reina and Yukina are top models in Japan right now, but there was a time when her and Yukina were actually the top basketball players in Japan, and it's clear that this was her identity, and so much of who she was tied to her ability to play basketball. But then everything changes when Yukina got injured, and it was clear she was never going to be able to play again. And instead of treading off without her friend, Reina sacrifices her own time and her own place in order to stay with Yukina. And it's almost done in this nonchalant sense, and this is what the manga does so well, and how characters say things and are drawn. You can tell this was the easiest decision of Reina's life, and it reminded me of Frieren and almost a disassociation with time. Without Frieren, was always quick to spend years of her life waiting for other people or being with other people because of her lack of value towards time. And both these stories use mannerisms so well to reveal her true feelings, because at face value it can seem like they both don't care about what's going on, when in fact they actually care more than anyone else. And just because she's not in tune with her own emotions doesn't mean they're not there. And Fern is to Frieren what Imazuman is to Reina, and as they grow up and grow older, both Reina and Frieren learn how to live as well. They both realize how much they care about other people, and Reina, seeing Imazuman try every single day to push himself to be better, she wants to stay there and be by his side till the end, not because he's the guy who defended her or the guy she lives with, but because he is someone that makes her feel human and makes her understand that it's okay to be committed to someone else, because there is people that will reciprocate your feelings, and there's so many people out there that shut off their feelings and act angry towards others as
maybe the story's not that bad. Maybe it's actually good. Maybe he's right.
Persona, but most of the time that doesn't come from the fact that these people are born evil, but somewhere in their life they started putting up so many walls and eventually got trapped in their own labyrinth, and someone has to come in and guide them through it. And goddamn, if I can write a monologue like that, I think I need a girlfriend. Please leave a like. But the most challenging character in the series is definitely Yukina, or in other words, Kenpachi. She's someone that's failed. She's the one that got injured and the one that had to change her path. She's the one who rejects who she is the most, and I want to highlight how this is different from Reina, because they may seem to be similar when they really are not. Reina is a character who has struggled with her sense of identity throughout the different phases of her life. She thought she knew what she wanted, but in reality she didn't. Yukina, on the other hand, is quite different. She faces constant pressure from her brother to behave a certain way, and this affects her every decision. Unlike Reina, who chose to step away from basketball, Yukina never had the luxury of choice until she and Imazuman go on a regular date. Interestingly enough, it's one of the only normal dates in the entire series. This setting allowed Yukina to act in a way that the audience never saw her in, where we see her deal with her insecurity and why she started off reserved and unsure of her feelings. And through the time spent with Imazuman, he starts to unravel her into accepting who she is. She does have the ability to love, and the love is reserved to him, and she's the one to outright talk about genuinely loving him first and wanting to date him. And this really reminded me of Kenpachi in his relationship.
So my bad, earlier when I said those were his 3 girlfriends, I guess they weren't his girlfriends yet.
For fighting. Kenpachi always loved fighting, and I think he believed it to be his calling until the 1,000-Year Blood War, where Kenpachi realized fighting just to fight can't push you to be your best. But having a genuine fear of death, that is what makes a fight worth fighting, and without it, you are nothing but a hollow warrior. It really reminded me of Yukina and her relationship with love, both committing to actions accustomed to love, with Yukina and Kenpachi realizing that doing what you care about needs to have weight, and when they open up their feelings and accept the reality of who they are, they realize that they've been living wrongly the whole time, and this leads to Yukina becoming one of the deepest characters in the series that I'm sure many different people will relate to and connect with. And as we have seen, Imazuman, despite his own struggles, helped Reina find herself, enabled Ruri to wear her scars as a piece of armor, and allows Yukino to discover who she really is and what she wants. And it's impressive because the initial seed of
Dude, is it just me or is the manga art better than the anime?
The fact that Imazuman has had issues with his masculinity growing up and is often deemed by those around him to be feminine and soft. This is a premise is already getting into a lot of deep cultural issues. Imazuman is battling with this dilemma at every turn, and this is what leads him to being sent away to live on his own to begin with, to become his own man because of how pitiful he was before. And immediately when you're watching, you're going to connect him with Thorfinn. It's so obvious, and it's insane how the two characters are so similar. At the beginning of Vinland Saga, Thorfinn is someone who's a hopeful young boy.
Damn, he's actually making the story sound good, bro.
And destruction, tying his identity to killing Askeladd. And ideas of revenge
I believe him.
overtake him until he falls all the way down to become a man chopping wood for 5 episodes. That was a joke. Don't kill me. But Imazuman
that was a joke. Don't kill me.
Journey where he started
you have to say that if you make an anime statement on the internet. I was joking. Please don't kill me.
As a young boy, hopeful to become a strong man, only to be constantly told by his family that he's feminine, and this destroys him everywhere he goes. He gets made a fool, and even though his friends say he doesn't look like a man at all, this is the same trope as Thorfinn, because Thorfinn's goal was to kill Askeladd at all costs. Then when he's dead, he realizes the goal was for nothing at all, and what he was striving for was something he never actually needed, and tying his identity to this purpose is what made him hollow, and then he realizes the death of Askeladd shouldn't have made him feel empty, but made him feel free. And Imazuman, through the help of others, realizes that he is in fact a man, and even if others don't feel that way, it's okay. And I think the pinnacle of this was when his girlfriend stressed him as a girl, and he runs into his brother, and at other points in his life he may have turned into a coward because of this, but instead he stands up for himself and realizes his identity. And this beautiful tale has showed him what his purpose is, of loving his girlfriends more than anything, and even becoming more traditionally masculine through that process, in ways that shock his parents and his family, and even his girlfriend. The shy boy they took in has shed his wings, and he realizes that he has no insecurities. He takes action, he's there for women, and he doesn't care what others
he's definitely taking action. Well,
all these characters is when Reina's sister Riza comes in, and although she is not evil, she is someone that basically wants to use Imazuman, and how the others react to this shows their growth. Although they don't outwardly express their emotions, they establish that even though certain things happen behind closed doors, the relationship continues to revolve around the three of them. In many other romance manga, such situation would be exaggerated for drama. However, in this story's world, what happens in the bedroom doesn't define who you are. Instead, it's your actions, the way you express love, the shape of your identity as a man, a friend, a person, and a lover. So if you enjoyed this video, check out the most degenerate anime of fall 2024. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and we're just in.
Okay, no, that was okay. That's you know what? That's crazy place. Pause. But it was a good video. I liked it. It was good. I'll definitely probably come back and maybe check out some more of his videos. Who knows? But let me guys know if any of you have actually read the manga and you agree with him that the story is actually pretty good. But of course, go check out ItzKish. And of course, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a good day.